Hey there guys, it's Farah and welcome to my channel. Hope everybody's enjoying this beautiful weekend. I believe today is the 13th. It's Saturday, June 13th, and it is gorgeous, as you guys could see. And it's just too pretty to do this video in the house. So, and not to mention it's very noisy. I'm a mama of 7 beautiful children, married to my best friend and husband Keith of 20 years. Keith and I grew up and were raised in Southern California, and we relocated here to Missouri about 10 years ago. And so yeah, I guess I will start with my son Gabriel just turned 14. He's going into the 9th grade, and Gabriel is my child of special needs. He is on the autism spectrum, and he has been taking speech therapy now probably since he was about, I don't know, maybe 6 years old. The school that he's going to right now, I absolutely love his teachers. They treat him so well, and he absolutely loves going to school there, and they just have worked so well with him. He has just really improved over the years. Like he has really come a long way from the terrible temper tantrums and just throwing fits and stuff over the years. We really don't get, you know, he really doesn't throw temper tantrums anymore. He gets, you know, he will get short with the other kids, or, you know, sometimes he will throw something, or he still tests us, but for the most part, Gabriel has come a long way over the years. But I will start with, when he was born, Gabriel was probably the prettiest of all my babies. He was beautiful, hence the name Gabriel. He was our little angelic baby, and everything was fine. He was a perfectly healthy baby. So Gabriel was actually born at home. I have actually had 5 of my children at home. I try to stay as natural as I can. The only 2 of all my 7 children that I've had in the hospital were Jacob and Naomi, and I should probably include Isaac. I'm actually, you guys know me as super mom of 7, but I'm actually a mama of 8 because we lost our son Isaac back in 2004. Isaac was a stillborn, and coming this December, Isaac would have been turning 16 years old, and I do plan on making a video on him and sharing photos of him and his story and what I believe led to his death. But that will probably, you know, I probably won't be making that video until December. That was when he was born, was December the 17th, so that's probably when I will be making a video of him. But he was actually my 2nd child, which actually makes Gabriel my 3rd child. And anyways, so Gabriel was doing beautifully. He was nursing. Everything was going, you know, perfectly well, and there were no problems whatsoever. So Keith and I just started noticing that he just started spitting up, you know, here and there, more than more than normal. And it started getting worse and worse to the point where he was throwing up projectile vomiting, and he just was not keeping anything down, any liquids down whatsoever. And so he had lost a lot of weight. Keith and I were young. We were ignorant. We just didn't realize, you know, we didn't understand what was going on with him. We just figured that he had a weak stomach. And anyway, he started to lose weight. He wasn't having wet diapers. He wasn't pooping. So after we took Gabriel to see this particular doctor, he had noticed that Gabriel looked dehydrated, and so he had referred us to like a specialist, and they had determined that Gabriel had pyloric stenosis, which is a muscle in the wall of the outlet of the stomach into the small intestine, which is abnormally thick. This causes the outlet from the stomach to become narrowed. It's just something that is actually fairly common in male babies. I guess 2 to 4 out of 1,000 babies are affected by pyloric stenosis, usually baby boys. It's more common in baby boys. So they have no idea what causes this pyloric stenosis, but it does call for surgery. And so Gabriel had to go in, and they had to make an incision in that tissue to loosen that muscle that was around the stomach, to loosen it up so that food can travel through and be digested. And so while he was waiting for the surgery, we couldn't give him any fluids, and he was already dehydrated before that. And then they pumped him full of antibiotics and stuff, and we all know what antibiotics do. They rob us of all our good bacteria, and a newborn baby has got to have, you know, plenty of good bacteria in their intestinal tract for their brains to develop and to grow. And he was starved of that, and not to mention he was severely dehydrated, and he just did not look good when he went in for that surgery. We almost lost him. If we had waited another day or two, he probably wouldn't be here with us today. We would have lost 2 baby boys in a row, literally in a row, because, sorry, there's a train. Wouldn't you know, we rarely ever hear trains through here. But after we lost Isaac, we got pregnant with Gabriel 7 months later. And so literally we would have lost 2 baby boys right in a row. And so anyway, the surgery was successful. Everything went well. Almost immediately Gabriel started just getting all chubby, and he just was just thriving, and he ate a ton. I mean, he was a really good eater. In fact, his favorite baby food was, he loved bananas. He still does till this day. He is a huge banana lover. He loves bananas. So I would say right around 8 months to a year, I was noticing that Gabriel was not talking. He wasn't making eye contact like he should have been. He wasn't laughing and smiling. He smiled. He did smile, but it wasn't at the right time. It wasn't as often as he should have been, and like the eye contact was a big one, a big concern. And I just started noticing things. Other people in the family started noticing things, that he just wasn't acting as responsive as he should have been. He wasn't talking, and he wasn't cooing like, you know, any normal child should have been at his age and at that point in his life. He wasn't progressing as he should have been. Right around 1.5, 2 years old, I knew for sure that there was a delay, and that there was probably, you know, some sort of bigger issue than I was hoping. I was living in denial for a long time. There were people that had, you know, encouraged me to take him in and have him tested, and I just kept putting it off and saying, nah, you know, because, you know, I'm actually a woman of faith. I believe that all things are in God's hands. Everything happens for a reason. And I figure if he is autistic, you know, I figured then, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do to change it. It is what it is. It was his fate. You can't change fate. But in all actuality, you can get them, you know, speech therapy, and you yourself can be doing, there's lots of techniques to helping children with autism or special needs. You can really do a lot to help them through their journey and to actually get them at a higher level, and some even end up coming out of it altogether. So they did end up determining that he was on the autism spectrum, which I had already known. I had a gut feeling. I didn't want to face it, I guess. It's still heartbreaking for a parent to hear, you know, for that to be confirmed that your child is on the autism spectrum or just autistic. And right away you start questioning yourself. What did I do? You know, is it something I did while I was expecting? You know, how could this have happened to one of my children? Why did it happen to one of my children? Why Gabriel? You know, why me? You know, because I'm the youngest of 6 siblings, and none of my other siblings had any problem, you know, with their children. Having, you know, they didn't have any children with special needs. I was the only one that ended up, you know, and so you start questioning yourself and wondering, why me? You know, why did God allow this to happen to one of my children? And, you know, the only answer to that question is his weakness is my strength. And God shapes and molds whom he will. And I believe that God has used Gabriel to strengthen Keith and I both. And for whatever reason, you know, and I accept that. And really, Gabriel has come so far, you guys. He used to throw horrible temper tantrums. Like, I had trouble getting him to get into the vehicle. When he was really, really little, he would scream and cry. Everything was a battle. Everything. And just, Keith and I went through a lot of heartache and stress. And now he's really such a good boy. He always does what he's told. He does, you know, he'll get mean with the other kids once in a while because they like to tease him. They all love him. All the kids love Gabriel to pieces, but they do like to tease him once in a while. And of course, I have to put a stop to that. But he will get a little bit mean with them, you know, and will defend himself if he has to. But all in all, he is like one of my cleanest children. He's always cleaning. He's always straightening things, and he always cleans up after himself. If, like, I have, if I've just freshly folded a bunch of clothes, he will come right over and grab his stack of clothes and take them down and put them away. He's such a good boy. And he's very spiritual. Gabriel loves to pray, and he loves to read the Bible, and he always loves when we sit down as a family and read the Bible together. And he's just a really happy child. He loves school. He loves his teachers. His teachers tell me that while he's at school, he sings songs that they've learned. He loves to sing. He opens doors up for all the classmates and stuff, and for other teachers and stuff. He's just the perfect little gentleman. And he's just, all in all, he's just such a sweet soul, and we just love him. Like, I wouldn't change him for anything except for himself. He's kind of hard to, like, choose gifts for, like, when it's his birthday. He really doesn't like anything. He really doesn't have any, like, interests other than watching movies. His all-time favorite movie hands down, is Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. He loves Willy Wonka. I'm sure you guys have noticed Gabriel pacing in the background in some of my past videos, but he's always pacing the house, quoting different movies and just mimicking things and laughing to himself. And he always makes, he's always made this noise. It's kind of like a ch-ch kind of a noise. Ch. Anytime he does something like, if he, I don't know, jumps or does something, he'll make that noise. He does not like loud noises. He covers his ears whenever I turn on like my blender for my smoothies. He covers his ears. Yeah, he doesn't like loud, sudden noises. But Gabriel keeps the family cracking up. He's really quite comical. He does funny things all the time. But he's just really, we're blessed to have Gabriel. We feel blessed to have him. We are regretful that, you know, something went wrong when he was a baby and that he didn't get to have the best opportunity in life. We feel that he was, you know, kind of robbed of living a full life, but in all, he seems very content. He has recently had a terrible psoriasis breakout a few months ago. It's been, I don't know, since I think November. So shoot, it's been December, January, February, March. I can't believe it's already been 7 months. Yeah, it's been like 7 months now. He broke out from a bad case of psoriasis, and we've been taking him to a dermatologist. And I mean, it's keeping it somewhat under control, but it's just not going away. And he has always had beautiful skin. He has never had, you know, skin problems or anything like that. But here, within the recent few months, he has really bad psoriasis, and so right now we're trying to get that under control. Poor kid. I mean, he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot considering, you know, he's such a happy boy, all in all. He's really fairly easy to please. His favorite food is pizza. He absolutely, and this is so weird because he absolutely loves pizza, but he hates cheese. Does that make any sense to you guys? We cannot put any cheese on his sandwiches. No cheese on like nachos, or he hates cheese. The only thing he will eat cheese on and likes it with is pizza. He is the funniest kid. Funny kid. But we've got him on a gluten-free diet, and I try to keep him dairy-free as well. Though the other kids, you know, when they have ice cream and stuff, I don't want to leave him out. Usually I'll give him a little bit of ice cream too, because I'm not going to, you know, I can't leave him out. Or if I serve them something that, you know, he can't have, I will make sure and have like gluten-free cookies or something for him to give to him as well. But for the most part, we try to keep him, you know, away from as much junk and sugars as we can. I don't think we could do any better than we have. So anyways, so then, you know, there's another question that people have asked me over the years, and it has been whether or not I vaccinate my children, because, you know, we all know that children with autism are usually children that have been vaccinated, and that is usually the cause of autism. And mind you, I have never vaccinated my children. I'm anti-vax mama 100%. I do not vaccinate because of the risks involved of vaccines and the dangers of vaccines. A lot of people have asked me why and have questioned why I do not vaccinate. Oops, my camera. I'm losing you guys. And even though the whole vaccine thing is another video, I just figured I would brush up on it. As to why I do not vaccinate my children, and also to confirm that that is not why Gabriel has his issues. It's just, I believe that he actually suffered brain damage from being so severely dehydrated and then being pumped with antibiotics on top of that as an infant. And I just want to, you know, make known that I don't judge anybody that does vaccinate. I know that every mama has it in her best interest. Every good mother does her best and does what she feels is best for her child. In fact, I was going to vaccinate Jacob, my first child. He's my first, he's my oldest. Jacob's 18. He's getting ready to go into the Marine Corps, which does require vaccines, but that will be Jacob's choice. You know, I have warned Jacob. We're gonna try to get around it, but you know, these days it's really hard to get around that, you know, to waive the vaccines, especially going into the military, because they, you know, they travel from country to country, and so it's just a lot harder. And you know, once you are enlisted, you belong, you are government property. So we'll see how that goes. I pray though that Jacob could get around that. But anyways, that's a whole other subject. But I just wanted to brush up on, you know, the fact that when I was going to take Jacob in when he was an infant to have his you know, to be vaccinated, somebody had warned me about them, and so I wanted to know more about it before I did it. It's good to be, you know, to do some research before you make that decision, because you're actually, you know, that's someone else's life that you're taking into your hands. And we should know, you know, we should know all the pros and cons and fully understand what we're doing before we do it. But now, mind you, every doctor has got, if you ask and request for the ingredients of the vaccines that they're getting ready to inject into your child, they have to show you the, you know, they have to give you a list of the ingredients. And just to mention a few things that are in the vaccines: formaldehyde, thimerosal, which is mercury, aluminum, fetal bovine serum, human bovine serum, bovine calf serum, antibiotics. Okay, now that's just a few. You guys can actually Google the vaccine ingredients and see for yourself. And I mean, if you can actually read the ingredients and still feel comfortable getting, you know, your child vaccinated, that's your business. You know, you're gonna make your own decisions. Everybody has the right to make their own decisions. But I'm just, you know, after reading the ingredients, I have to become Dr. Mom, and I seriously would not take the chance or risk it, somebody else's life. But every mama does what she thinks is best. All I'm saying is that I'm encouraging that you guys do your research and know what you're putting into your child. You know, doctor or no doctor, these doctors don't have to raise your child after your child becomes autistic or disabled in some sort of way. It's you that you're gonna have to deal with the consequences, not the doctor. So, you know, that's when we really have to step up, and we have to make the decisions ourselves and not, you know, allow our doctors to make the decisions for us. So, and we all know that the pharmaceutical industry is shady. We've been having Gabriel treated now for several months for his eczema, and so far no results. Very little to no results. So, you know, they're basically just masking the psoriasis. But yeah, legally, if you ask the doctor for the ingredients of the vaccines, they have to show you the ingredients or give you a copy of the ingredients. And that is when you determine whether or not formaldehyde is safe to go into your child's body, or mercury or aluminum or fetal serum. Why would they be putting fetal serum in vaccines, or bovine calf serum? Why would they be putting calf blood in our vaccines? We all know that antibiotics destroys our guts. Okay, and we also know that all sickness and disease starts in the gut. So, I mean, that just doesn't, it's just not making sense to me as to why they would be putting that in our vaccines. And which is enough for me to say no to vaccines. So I also wanted to make mention that God gifted us with a natural defense against disease and sickness, that being our immune systems. You know, and getting sick is actually a good thing, as it builds our immune systems, makes us stronger. I know that when I was a child, I got sick fairly often, but now as an adult, I rarely ever get sick. I mean, it's very rare that I even catch a cold. So, you know, that's why I would have to say no to being vaxxed. Yes to vitamins, supplementation. And then real quickly, I wanted to reference to you guys Jenny McCarthy's book. It's called Mother Warrior. She's actually written 2 books on her little boy that was diagnosed with autism just after he was vaccinated. She's written 2 books, Mother Warrior and then Louder Than Words. And she ended up fighting to heal her son and was successful. And she ended up just taking him, you know, getting him chelation and putting him in the oxygen chambers and putting him on a super strict diet. You know, he was heavily detoxed and stuff like that. And she ended up curing her son completely. And it is just, it is the best source, you guys, especially for you mamas. If you're questioning the whole vaccine thing, or if you're just, you know, you don't know a whole lot about the vaccines and you would like to know, I definitely recommend Jenny McCarthy's books, Mother Warrior and Louder Than Words. And I will leave those both linked down below for you guys in case you are interested. But I'm going to go ahead and bring Keith out here and have Keith talk a little bit about Gabriel and his experience with, you know, over the years, raising a child with special needs. Okay, so Mr. Pano, what has it been like raising a child with special needs over the past 14 years? Because he just turned 14.
Well,
and
obviously it's a lot different than you know, a child that doesn't have those difficulties. Gabriel's pretty mild with his disability. Really the main challenge is his level of maturity, right? He's 14, but he's more like a 5, 6, 7-year-old at heart. He's a great docile boy. He has his moments. He could get a little bit rowdy, but Gabriel's rowdiness is a stomp or a loud screech or something. So there's difficulties, and I think most of it personally is I enjoy Gabriel. I actually truly enjoy the way he is, and God made him this way. So I'm good with it. But I actually enjoy. He's a very loving boy, and I actually have a lot of fun with him. He could be a lot of fun to play with and toy with.
He is. He's very affectionate.
He's very affectionate, very soft with most of his contact. But he could be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a challenge. I think more of the challenge I face is within myself, and that's knowing that I'm going to be stuck with Gabriel for the rest of my life, and I'm going to have to depend on the other children when and Farrah and I are gone to take over, because he's going to need to care for the rest of his life. You know, he's pretty self-sufficient, but I don't know that he might be able to get a job someday, even if it's just something silly. He might be able to do it. I don't know at this point. His maturity level has grown considerably, so it might take quite some time, though, for him to be at the mindset able to do something like that. So I think that's the biggest problem, is just, you know, owning up to the responsibility of having a child like that. But otherwise, I've actually had lots of enjoyment with it. I think in the very, very beginning, it was very heart-wrenching in the very, very beginning. But you know, with all the others and him, it's quite the family experience. We got all the colors of the rainbow, you know, with the personalities, I mean, and so we got feisty ones. Yeah, we got feisty ones like this one.
He's naughty.
Yeah, naughty.
He's a naughty one.
He's a cute little, naughty little fatsy. And then we got sweet little docile ones like Judah and Gabriel are a lot alike, and they're real quiet.
Judah's very quiet. Gabriel, not so.
He could be pretty quiet.
Gabriel is constantly
moving, but it's not always that loud.
Constantly mimicking something, or like quoting movies continually.
Yeah.
Or acting them out.
But
constantly.
I think, hey you.
Hey, come here, baby. Marshall.
Come over here, Pumpkin. I think the challenge is more, you know, on Farrah and I, just knowing that we're going to be stuck with Gabriel the rest of our life.
Yeah, we have already accepted.
But we're good with it. I mean, I'm fine with it. Gabriel's actually not that. He's actually a wonderful person to be around. He's got a beautiful heart. So.
Yep. And we'll never be lonely.
No. Boo will always Boo. We call him Boo.
Yeah, he's our Boo.
He's our Boo, and he'll always be there with us, and I'm good with that. Right, dude?
Yep. That was,
right, dude?
You know,
give me 5, dude. No? So.
Apparently that was the way, you know, God.
Yeah. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. You don't get. To,
Marshall, don't throw rocks.
He's throwing rocks at me.
Come here,
you don't
baby.
get to pick the cards that you're dealt. You just deal the cards that you are dealt. So.
Yep.
Or you just play the cards that you're dealt. There you go.
Right. This was God's plan, and we've accepted it. So in case y'all have been wondering why I go by the name Supermom of 7 on my Instagram, it is because I not only lost a child, but in a way, when you lose a child to autism, or you know, you have a child with special needs, in a sense you've lost that child as well. So I believe that all mamas that have lost a child, or you know, have children with special needs, or have taken on a child with special needs, are super mamas. And you know, because we've been through a lot, and we have survived the worst, literally, because I don't know what is worse than the loss of a child, you know, or having a child with special needs. And so it's not just the child that actually has to go through the heartache and the pain of, you know, being dysfunctional, but it's also the mother and even the father that have to suffer as well. And, you know, if it wasn't enough that I had lost my baby Isaac, you know, and then 7 months later, I become pregnant with Gabriel, and then I almost lose Gabriel. You know, Keith and I went through a lot. We've gone through a lot over the years, and as well as for Gabriel, it can be a constant challenge and a constant battle. But at the end of the day, we can say that their weakness is our strength. So now I'm going to go ahead and go grab Gabriel so you guys can kind of see, you know, how he interacts for a minute and just kind of get a feel of his, you know, personality. And I'll just ask him a few questions. He does not like being on camera. He gets bad anxiety and gets really, really, really like anxious and nervous, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get him to talk a little bit. Can you say hi to everybody, Gabriel? Can you say hi? Say hi, guys. Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. So, Gabriel, how old are you? Can you tell them how old you just turned? Can you tell them? Say, I'm 14.
I'm 14.
I just turned 14 years old. Gabriel, do you like school?
School.
He loves school. He loves his teachers. He's a perfect gentleman at school. He opens the doors for everybody. And he loves to sing songs at school. And he loves computer games. Don't you? You love your computer games.
And computer game.
He's watching himself in the camera. Yeah, he loves, they have all kinds of little games for him to play on the computer and songs to sing. And he has his very own beanbag that he gets to sit in. That's his happy spot, huh, Wally? Is that your happy spot? We call him Wally because his middle name is Wallace. My grandfather's name was Wallace, and so I named him Gabriel Wallace after my grandfather. But as you guys can see, his psoriasis, can you guys see that? See how it's bleeding? It's so itchy and it's been bleeding, and we are currently taking him to see a dermatologist. He'll be going back on the 19th, but due to the quarantine, we haven't been able to see a doctor now for over a month. I think it's been like 2 months. We've been just doing like phone orders, you know, prescriptions over the phone and stuff, but he really needs to be seen. Because we really need to get something done about this. It's just the creams are not working, and they were giving him oral medication that seemed to work while he was taking it, but it came back again. So what are you doing? He's watching himself. Is that you? Huh? Can you see yourself?
Just showing that.
Oh. What are you talking about? Oh, it's a wasp. This kid gets stung more times each summer than anybody I've ever known. They're always stinging this poor kid. I don't know what it is. Come here, sweetie. I think it's gone. But he got stung in the face like 4 or 5 times last summer. Poor thing, right? He was swinging on, because we have a little swing set, and he was swinging on the swings, and Keith found a nest. And that's why it was happening right there. It was while he was on that swing, and it happened like 4 different times last summer. So hopefully this summer he'll get lucky, huh, Wally? Since Dad got rid of all those nests. But we have had a horrible, horrible wasp problem for the past few years in the summertime. Are you saying hi to everybody? Huh? Can you tell everybody what's my name, Wally? What's my name? Tell them what my name is. What's my name?
Lenny is Gabriel.
No. What's mommy's name? What's my name?
Vera.
What's dad's name?
Dad. Keith.
Keith. Mm-hmm. And he does know our phone number, which I will not ask him to say. What grade are you going into, Gabriel? Huh? Are you going into 9th grade?
Yeah,
Can you say bye to everybody? See you guys.
See you guys.
Nice seeing ya. Nice meeting you guys. All right, guys, I'm going to conclude this video because I have a low battery and my phone's going to go dead here in just a minute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. My content includes cooking, cleaning, beauty, home improvements, mommy vlogs, and beyond. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell so you're notified each time my videos are uploaded. Head on over to Instagram and follow me under supermom of7. And check out my website at fairandorganized.com. And hey, you guys, I will see you guys hopefully in the next video. Bye. Say bye, Gabriel.
Bye, Gabriel.
Bye, guys. Very good.
And not very in a big stupid world, and not just in nursery, not in no just like letters of nursery, and we buying and this black and no drag and running. Not just ran, not just right, naturally, mystery and mystery, but then not just bit and she will just.
You got your own cheese pizza.
Cheese piece.
All right, go sit down. Go to the table and go eat it.
What? He's lucky.
Watch out, Jojo.
Huh.
Say a prayer. Can you say a prayer? And we thank you for this food. Amen. Good job. Amen. Ooh. One cheese pizza just for me. Huh, Boo? Go ahead. Take a bite. Let's see you take a bite. Do you like it? Do you like it?
It's yummy.
Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Cool. Double thumbs up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gabriel. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Blow 'em out.
Oh, Boo, you missed me.
Woo!